What is up, guys? We are live. Zach Ginn here, and in today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how to cold call step by step. This is a beginner's guide. This is an advanced guide. If you are brand new in wholesaling real estate, you are brand new into cold calling, this is going to be a great tutorial on it. And really, I wanted to get as advanced and for a beginner. So I want to get really advanced in this video for people that need it, but also keep it simple enough where a beginner can follow, especially when you're starting out. I'm really excited about this one. I'm pumped up. I'm excited to share exactly how to get into cold calling. So do me a big favor, guys. If you are getting any value out of the lives I do, anything like that, please do me a favor. Smash that like button and subscribe. Get the most free value from us. And let's break it down. I'm excited, guys, because cold calling is one of the best marketing channels out there, and especially for 2022 when most people are just doing, those big type of marketing, SMS text blasting. I see a lot of people doing PPC ads, Facebook ads, and they're all cold calling the same exact list. A lot of people aren't having success with it. And really what I want to do today is go back to the basics of cold calling and break down exactly how you can be successful for it. Everybody knows my story starting out, working 5 hours a day cold calling until I eventually broke out and started doing really well. Really want to share exactly what it takes to be successful in cold calling. And obviously, I'm going to give away my script. A lot of people know my script already, but for a beginner, this is really going to be good. But basically, cold calling is going to be one of the best ways for marketing. It's not the most sexy or most fun for most people, but it is the most practical. And if you're looking to actually get your first deal, I would say cold calling probably is going to be around 70 to 80% of people's first deals are through cold calling. So this is why I think it's pretty important to talk about, pretty important to go at it and share. So if you're ready to go, if you are jacked up today to learn cold calling, I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Here's the truth, though. I'm always jacked up to go on live and share the value, make this guru sad. It's what I like to do. The problem is you guys have to match my energy. And if you want to match my energy, we got to cue the intro. We got to get the DJ on here. We got to get you guys to get out of bed and get going. So, woo! Let's get it going, guys.
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, and get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch, get up. Get up, get up.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Dancing it up, guys. Woo! All right, let's get it going, guys. So cold calling for real estate wholesaling. If you're ready to change your life today with cold calling, I'm excited. So let's kind of break it down because I think most people understand cold calling and it makes sense for them, like that concept of cold calling. But the truth is, it's a very easy concept, but it's very hard to actually execute. For example, there's two examples you can really give in this situation. One is like, hey, why don't you go out here and go catch a fish? It's like, okay, you go out here, catch a fish. You learn it. It seems pretty simple. And then sometimes it gets more advanced and it keeps crazy. And then, you go catch a marlin. It's a lot harder to do. Or it's like, hey, go lift 100 pounds over your head. Or let's say 200 pounds over your head. It's like pretty simple, right? You get the weight and you just get it over your head, right? You push it up. The thing is, the concept's simple, right? You just take a weight and you push it up with your body. The problem is, it's very hard to do sometimes for a lot of people. The cool part is, though, if you just keep weightlifting every single day, eventually, if you have right nutrition and stuff, it's pretty simple to do, and eventually you get strong enough to do it, right? That's the way I like cold calling. It's the way I like explaining cold calling because it seems very difficult to go out here and cold call. It seems like a daunting task. One thing I can give to you, if you may, I don't know if this is a egotistical rant, but this is just something I've used in my experiences. I had a goal last year in 2020 during the pandemic to run a marathon, nonstop, run the entire thing, and just run an entire marathon without stopping. Nice pace, get it going. So it seemed very daunting because I was running like 2-3 miles a day. Like that seems scary, right? And if I try to run a marathon like that week, I probably would have not gotten, like, my legs would have like passed out, right? So I started training, started running 4 or 5 miles a day, and then, did a couple 13-mile runs, did like a 20-mile run, and it sucked, but my legs got used to it and eventually got better and better at it. And when it came time to do it, I did the entire thing, and it was really cool. What I could tell you from running a marathon to actually doing, wholesaling real estate is wholesaling real estate's way harder. I'll tell you right off the bat. To cold call 5 hours a day, 5 days a week for a year straight is way harder than training for a marathon. A marathon was simple. I put headphones in, listen to David Goggins, I was fine. But the problem is with cold calling, it's a constant grind, You have to be pulling lists, skip tracing, going into appointments, and in the face of adversity, the cool part I liked about running is like you could see your results. You could see yourself get better every single day. With cold calling, like, you don't see that, You can check your mile time every month. It looks better. With cold calling, it's like you can make more deals and do better, but like you don't see it in the short term. Over the long term, it's pretty easy. So that's the problem with cold calling. It's a very simple concept. It seems daunting, to start cold calling sellers, right? I remember starting out in it. I've already done deals before I started cold calling, so it wasn't as daunting, but still wasn't easy, right? And I just got better and better and better at it. And eventually, I became a cold calling master out of my dorm room. So what I could tell you is it seems very simple, and it's very, very simple, but it's hard at the same time. So the execution's hard. It's actually going in here and doing the grind. So let's kind of break down cold calling. I'm really excited to break this down because, again, everyone knows about it, but a lot of people don't understand the fundamentals. And getting back to the basics for cold calling, I think is the most important part. So let's sort of break this down. And remember, guys, this is a live show. So everyone on here, like Michelle's on here, cold calling's tough, but I'm going to do it anyway. Love your script too. Like, everyone's up. Like, everyone's ready to go. Everyone asking me questions on it. I love it. I got the live comments going. So if you guys have a question about cold calling, I'll personally answer it on the live stream here. And I'm pretty excited about this. So let's get it. So let's break it down. So number one, this is the first question, and this is probably the most common one. And this is for beginners too in this business, right? Like, I'm here to help the people that are brand new starting out and people that are advanced. And I think I found a way to really help the people out with it. So again, what is cold calling? My best definition is just calling people, or, getting in touch. I don't want to use definitions with the word in it. So it's like, cold calling, in my opinion, is a strategy of reaching out to somebody looking to sell their property. The best short definition is the goal of a cold call is to get a yes from a seller. And what does that mean? A yes from a seller, in my personal opinion, is someone who says, yes, I'm interested in selling my property. That is the goal of cold calling. Did I just say that the goal of cold calling is to close a seller on like a DocuSign over the phone for a virtual wholesale deal? No. Did I say the goal of a cold call was to give an offer, run comps? Did I say the goal of a cold call was to go offer a subject to on a property and then try to build rapport with the seller? No. The goal of the cold call is to just get a yes, I'm interested in selling my property. You get off the phone after that. Most people make this so complicated. The truth is, if you just stick to the simplistic goal of getting that yes, and then you go to the next step, the acquisitions, then you go into the qualifying part, right? So that is the goal of the cold call. The only thing we'd expand over there is possibly qualifying the seller, but that's ultimately up to you. My team does it. I recommend everyone qualifies the seller. Once they get a yes, once you qualify, boom, that's acquisition's job. Acquisition's job is only dealing with people that are absolutely qualified. So the goal is to get a qualified yes for cold calling. And that's going to be the goal. That's what I'm really going to focus on today. How to go from, hey, how do I find someone that's going to say yes and is qualified, right? To actually getting, hey, I'm looking to sell my property. You answer the qualifying questions and I'm qualified. That's the goal of cold calling. That's what we're going to focus on today. Then you got acquisitions, right? It's like turning that, yes, I'm interested, into a contract Dispositions is selling that contract for a profit. Wholesaling real estate simply is three stages. It is the marketing, acquisitions, and dispositions. Marketing is what we're focusing on today. Just going from nothing to finding somebody. Literally, marketing is just finding somebody who wants to sell the property. That's it. That is what marketing is at the heart of hearts. Acquisitions, in the heart of hearts, acquisitions is about getting a contract, disposed, selling the contract. So the point of cold calling is literally just a marketing channel. It's a type of channel. Got SMS text blasting, got door knocking, right? So the goal of cold calling is just finding a yes. So that is what we're going to be focusing on today. Actually going out here and finding the yes. That's what I can tell you. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to load these up. I don't know why it's taking forever to load up here, but so the next part is, it's like, what is cold calling versus other marketing channels? Why do I like cold calling? Why do I scream about it? Why do I scream at the top of my lungs on these live streams of why cold calling? Why am I getting a super detailed video on cold calling? Most people they'll do a YouTube video on cold calling, right? And it'll be like 5 minutes and they just gloss over the thing. And my opinion is, after doing 7 figures in just deals from cold calling, again, I can make a 5-minute video on it. But unfortunately, I can do like a 4-hour video on it, right? That is the nuances of cold calling. There's so much nuances to it, right? Like running, right? You talk to a running coach, there's so much nuances to running, nutrition. Like they can go forever and ever and ever on it. Mindset, right? Type of gear to have. So it's good to understand everything and try to absorb the best information. So you got cold calling, you got SMS text blasting, you got door knocking, you got PPC, you got SEO. You have a plethora of type of marketing channels out there. The reason why I prefer cold calling over everything else is because you're actually hunting. I don't know if hunting's the best way to describe cold calling, but that's the way I sort of like it. So I'm not going to use a hunting example because that might be a little too vulgar, but use fishing, okay? Do you like to actually, like for fishing, if you're on a boat, would you actually like to go out there and actually find the fish and then like go catch it? Or do you rather just have a bobber on there and just wait for them to come to you? That's kind of the way I look at it. Direct mail, bandit signs, you stick the little trap in there and you hope the fish goes in there and you go qualify the lead. I don't like waiting around all day for it. I'd rather actually get results, and you can really predict the amount of deals you do when you do the type of outbound marketing. So the best difference between it is an inbound versus outbound marketing. I like to actually go out there from there. Cold calling is the most scalable marketing operation out there. You can argue direct mail, but I think with the cost of direct mail, it just doesn't make sense for most people. Cost-wise, cold calling is by far the cheapest. Biggest cost is skip tracing and then capital, human capital, so just employees for it. What I can tell you, though, with cold calling is you can do it absolutely for free. And that's really a huge advantage. I scream to everybody watching. It's like, when you cold call, you can actually reach these sellers without paying any money. And that is a huge benefit to cold calling. This is why I tell everybody, if you're brand new, like I'm telling you, if you're brand new, if you're broke, cold calling hands down is going to be the best strategy for you to actually get a seller who wants to say yes, get that property on a contract, then sell that contract for $10,000, $20,000, $30,000. The quickest way is doing that. Now, the question is like, what type of list? We can get into the list a little later, but it's like a driving for dollars list. If you just drive for dollars and just call absolutely for free, if you're 14, 15, 16, that is the quickest way, like as a teenager, to get a real estate wholesaling deal, like by far. I cannot scream this enough that SMS text blasting, you can do that too, but there's a lot of cost to it, right? There's a lot of regulations going on there. The cool part about cold calling that nobody in wholesaling real estate likes to talk about, a lot of these wholesalers are wholesaling coaches. You got these wholesaling coaches calling other YouTubers who sell $15,000 courses like the king of wholesaling. It's like the king. It's like, where do these people get off? It's just like the egos on these YouTubers are insane, and they're really not running real businesses anymore. It's kind of sad. But the truth is, with cold calling, you could start out brand new, and nobody likes talking about this. Everyone loves talking about scary regulation to get views and stuff like that. But the thing is, cold calling is not going to be regulated. They can try to regulate cold calling with like a DNC list or something, which obviously there's workarounds with it with the TCPA. A lot of people, I mean, we have case law for it to help us out with this. But also with cold calling, it's like cold calling is a tried and true thing. It is not going away. And you got to remember this. Who are the people that regulate cold calling laws? Politicians, right? What? Not a lot of people know this. And this is the truth. This is the stuff like you don't see on other YouTube channels. But if you figure out, if you actually knew what your local congressman or woman did 4 hours a day, especially during a midterm year like this, your member of Congress, these legislators, they are in their political party offices. They're either in an RNC or DNC office right now, and they cold call donors like 2-3 hours a day, every single day. Like this is what your legislators do. They're personally on the phone with like big businesses trying to get money for re-election, right? So if you know that the people legislating the laws spend at least 2 hours a day cold calling donor lists, do you think that they're going to stop people from cold calling? Oh no, right? Some of the biggest businesses do cold calling, right? So the truth is regulation, cold calling is going to be fine. Of course, there's some things about dialers and stuff we can get into today, exactly how to get the best results with them. The best thing with new regulation, all you got to understand with the new laws for 2022 with cold calling is that you just have to have a bigger average length of call than, like I think 10, 12 seconds is the number. You're fine. So quick shout out to, I don't know, I don't want to be all over the place, but like if you're having a problem with your dialer, I can tell you right now, you have to increase the length of your phone calls and you'll be fine. And that's why I have my script. My average script's like 15, 20 seconds per call, which kills it, right? So versus other marketing channels, SMS can get regulated out, RVMs, direct mail, not really because you're paying the USPS. So you're fine with that one. Facebook ads, it's getting more expensive. PPC is more expensive. SEO is getting more crowded. I'm not saying anything bad about SEO, but I truly believe that the more wholesalers in here, it actually gets harder for there. It's hard to niche out in SEO, but I mean, you technically can. But what I can tell you at the end of the day is cold calling is going to be the king. It's the fastest way, hands down, to get a real estate wholesaling deal this year. It's just with cold calling. So I kind of explained this, like why I love cold calling. You can do it absolutely for free. You can actually gain your real estate. You can actually gain your real estate acquisition skills by cold calling. So you can actually find motivated sellers and actually get better talking to sellers by just cold calling, because you're practicing with the seller. You're asking them the simple 2-step script. Hey, are you the owner of the property and are you interested in selling it? It's like, it's a win, 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 win. That's why I love cold calling. But also, a lot of people don't understand this too, but it's like cold calling is a numbers game. So just keep that in mind. I get a lot of people say, oh, Zach, I didn't do good on the seller list because I was cold calling and I cold called 200 people for a high equity deal. And, just cold calling sucks. It's not the best thing out there. But the truth is, cold calling is a numbers game. So if you eventually you can create your own numbers and KPIs to figure out how many calls it takes to get a deal. I know for the average, like high equity for us, it's like we usually have to call like 6,000 people in my city to go get a deal from cold calling. If it's a niche list, it's like 4,000. So if I have a probate, and I know it takes about 1,000 calls for probate to get a deal, our average is like 500, but I'm just guessing for around the people around the country. If you have 1,000 calls like that, I'm going to get one deal. So you just know of a numbers game, you just reverse engineer it. It's great. So remember, cold calling is a numbers game. Reverse engineer how many calls it takes for you on average to get a deal. Then figure out how many calls you have to make a week to make your money goal. Not a lot of people do this. It's amazing. But really what I want to get in today, again, I love treating some of these lives like you're inside a $4,000 course, because I'm just letting you know, I could create webinars like these lives and sell them for like $199 and have like 1,000 people in them like twice a week. Like I could do that. And I think people know, maybe $99 and maybe I get 500 people. So what? Like, oh no, $100. I make what, like five. If I get 500 people on here at $99, considering our average views are 1,000, right? You get 50,000 times 2 times 52. I mean, you can make a ton of money doing this. I'm telling you right now. So I could create this. I can create this little, webinar for you guys and sell it. And this way I treat it like, but I give this out for free. I'm just letting you know. So everything, I want everyone to understand this. Everything I'm about to tell you, this is the same thing I would tell you in my, I put my legacy on the line here. I put my reputation on the line when I say this right now. If I was going to sell you a $99 webinar or a $1,000 course on cold calling, this is the information I'll tell you. And I think a lot of people on here know I could sell the stinking life out of that thing, right? So I want you to understand, when I give you this information, you have to treat it like you spent a lot of money with this. You are spending your most valuable asset watching me right now, which is your time. If you are spending your most valuable asset watching me and you're spending your time, actually put the effort of actually understanding the concepts I'm saying and actually using them and actually executing with them. What did I say in the beginning of this video? What is the hardest part about cold calling? Executing. So if you take what I say and actually pretend like you spent the money, you're giving me your time, execute with that, and I promise you, your results will increase like crazy. I'm not going to give this egotistical rant about like how I'm the greatest cold calling mind of all time. And like, this isn't going to be the greatest information of all time for cold calling, but this is practical advice I use to run a 7-figure operation. I think it's great. And you would literally spend a bunch of money watching this information if I made a webinar. I was a regular guru. So treat it like that. And I would probably sell the webinar. And this is why I mentioned this. I would call it the cold calling success formula, maybe a $500 course, a $1,000 course. The course number doesn't matter, right? Or like a $99 webinar, right? Call it the cold calling success formula. And this is what I'd sell it. Like, that's what I was thinking. It's like, how would I sell this to somebody? And then, I just give it out for free. That's what I like doing. So this is what I've come up with. This is going to be like stupid. Like, it's stupid the way you think about it, but this is the way I thought about it, of making millions of dollars in profits from cold calling with my operations with VAs by myself in my dorm room, all this stuff. This quick side note, if you're brand new, I started actually wholesaling with bandit signs in high school, made about 100K. I went to college for a couple semesters, and I went back home to just do the same college. I was actually able to take my tests online, but I still got my degree and stuff. So I was still in school, because I get asked that question all the time. But like, when I was in my dorm room there, actually in person, I was cold calling on a Mojo triple line dialer for 25 hours a week, basically. And that's really where I got really good at cold calling, because I couldn't do any wholesaling at that place. So what I figured out, in the past 4.5 years of cold calling, wholesaling about 4.5 years of cold calling, this is what I've seen. So the chance of getting a deal from cold calling, so I'm very analytical. I can also be, I'm not calling myself like, you got integrators and visionary people. I'm kind of in between that. I would call myself more of the visionary type role. But the thing is, I can be a good integrator too. And I'm just very analytical when I look at things, especially a visionary, like when I have the vision for the operations and stuff. So what I've found is, just in my analytical mind, the chance of getting a real estate deal. So I like to put it like percentages, right? So if there is a 10% chance this month you're going to get a real estate wholesaling deal, how do I make that chance 75%, right? The cool part is, like, I look at my direct mail. We have gotten a deal basically every single month in direct mail for the past, at least 3 years, right? So that's almost 100% chance I'm getting a deal per month, at least a $40,000 to $50,000 deal from direct mail every single month, and they spend like $3-4K on it. So that's pretty cool to look at, right? If you look at cold calling, the percent you're going to get a deal this month from cold calling comes down to 3 factors. And these are the factors of actually getting a yes from a seller. So to actually get a lead, what are the chances of it comes down to 3 factors. The factors I figured out are the list, the skip tracing, and the script. If you were having an issue with your cold calling, check all 3 of these things. And if you tell me you're not doing really well in your cold calling, I'll literally break these 3 things down. And if they're not one of these, I know if the issue is one of these 3, I know that's the problem. So let's go, for example, it's your list. If you have a bad list, your deal's done. If you have great skip tracing, a good list, you're done. I'm telling you, if you have a bad list and good skip tracing, it doesn't matter about the good skip tracing. The list is bad, right? If you have an amazing list and bad skip tracing, the deal's over. Let's say you have a great list and your skip tracing is amazing, but you have this long, stupid, winded script. You're done. The thing is, you have to have a great list, great skip tracing, and then you have to have a great list, a great skip tracing, and then a great script. That is the trifecta for success. And that's really what I'm breaking down today, exactly how to do it. So to find a yes from a seller, you have to get these 3 things right. When someone's brand new in this business and they're not doing well with this stuff, I can tell pretty easy, right? It's either someone's skip tracing is really bad, their script's terrible, or their list is bad. Most of the time, especially as a beginner in wholesaling real estate, when somebody comes up to me and says that, I'm not having success with it, skip tracing's fine. The script is actually fine. They're using my script. The issue I see is with the list, right? And that's, Zach, I cold called the pre-foreclosure list in Detroit, Michigan. It's like, come on. Like how many millions of people live in that like metro area? Like you're not going to be successful in that. So that's honestly what I've seen in my experience. I wish I could tell you there's some like super simple strategy that like will change the world for you for cold calling. But the problem is it's not. It's like me coaching you again how to like run 4 miles. It's like there's no like, all you got to do is plug your nose and then touch your left ear 4 times and make a circle. And then you can run 50 miles. No, like people think like that's what they want to know. It's like losing weight. It's like, what's the secret to losing weight, right? It's like, all you got to do is drink apple juice 4 times a day and then boom, like, right? That's everyone wants the get rich quick scheme. Everyone wants to know the quick fix for everything. Some things just take hard work. And the problem is you got to treat cold calling like a sport. And this is one thing not a lot of people talk about. And sorry for my people that don't like sports, but I will say this. I tell you, wholesaling is like a sport. Cold calling is like a sport. This is like real estate investing generally is like a sport too. It's like, okay, we have a sport. If everyone in the league is terrible, then you could probably be terrible and be fine, right? If I played on a middle school basketball team right now, I'd probably just dominate that league, right? And that might be the sports league, and I can do really well. That's kind of how I treat my personal market. I don't think many wholesalers in my market are really good, so we can do really good on acquisitions. The thing is, when you get into like a good market and there's good wholesalers around, it's like, that's the sport, wholesaling real estate. How do you get good at it? You have 2 options, right? You just be an average wholesaler and just do average things. I love the thing about basketball. It's like, if you are on the Los Angeles Lakers, right, and you just want to be like a regular player, like you just want to practice, your regular 2 hours a day, go hang out on the weekends, like do whatever you want, and you just like do the bare minimum. You don't really watch too much film. You do the bare minimum. You're going to be a bench player or not like an average player at best, right? And then you got people like Kobe Bryant, right? Who since like 14, 13 years old has spent every living moment of his life at the craft of basketball. Michael Jordan, LeBron James. It's like, what do they do differently to become the greatest and probably the most successful athletes in basketball? And then you attribute this to wholesaling. It's like the best wholesalers out there, the ones making millions and millions of dollars, were they working like 1 hour a day starting out, like doing the bare minimum, especially when like it came to actually getting that grind up? No, right? They actually got better and better and better. And you might say, LeBron doesn't do like 15-hour days anymore. He put the work in though, That's going to be the difference in wholesaling between you having success or not, especially in your cold calling. It's like, how much work and effort have you put into your craft? And there's a huge difference. There's a huge difference between the Kobe Bryants and like the regular basketball players. Even the great basketball players, you can compare them to like the greatest of all time. The effort is not the same, right? And that's the biggest issue I see with people complaining about why they're not being successful in this business. It's like, you haven't put the work in. Put the work in and get back to me. And that's every time I see it. It's like, Zach, how can I get like you? How can I get like this? How can I make this much money? Put in the work. I hate saying it. It's not sexy. What Kobe, LeBron, all these guys have done, it's not sexy what Jordan did, working all this time. It is not sexy and fun. It's sexy and fun to go make a game-winning shot, though, right? It's all cool to just pull up on a three-pointer and just make it, right, in front of everyone. But no one sees how many three-pointers you made the night before or How many three-pointers you made when you're 18, 19 years old when no one was watching you? This is why I like to attribute wholesaling to sports. It's because the people that actually become successful in this business, you see the wins, but you don't see the amount of grind, the blood, sweat, and tears someone poured in this business. And that's like, I was not on YouTube when I was in my grind phase. When I was grinding it out, cold calling hours and hours and hours and hours a day, going on appointments, being said no, rejected so many times over the phone, being told all this stuff from other people, working a bag boy job, why sticking bandit signs out at 4 a.m. Nobody saw that stuff. Nobody. Everyone congratulates me now, though. Oh, wow, you're doing so great, Zach. Congrats on that $115,000 deal. Congrats on that $100K deal. Congrats on doing $40,000, $50,000 deals. Congrats on all this money. But where were you congratulating me when I was out here, 17 years old, with no money in my bank account, telling me, oh, that's too risky. This business is too risky to do. That's the thing. You have to grind when no one else is watching you. Again, to get results that others don't, you have to do what others won't. So if you want to be successful in your market today, beat your competition, you're going to have to do the stuff that other people will refuse to do. Oh, you don't want to get up at 3 a.m. and do 200 bandit signs? Well, have the results that the average person does. If I want to get the average results that the average 17-year-old at that time was not getting, making $100,000 per year, I was doing stuff that none of them were doing. They're going on parties, I was sticking bandit signs out, right? You're watching football games on the weekend. I was actually going there talking to sellers drawing for dollars. Everyone thinks I watched every single Dolphins game in existence. When I was grinding, put that thing on the radio, started drawing for dollars. Like, I'm telling you, I cannot stress this enough. This business is a sport. If you want to be excited about it, let's get it going. I'm telling you. Everyone asks me too, like, what's your favorite sport? I love that question. That is one of my favorite questions to get asked. Everyone says, Zach, what is your favorite sport? Business is my favorite sport. The coolest part about business is you don't have to retire. You can get going. You get better with age. Sports, never like that. Business is the ultimate sport. It definitely separates the greats from the average. So, sorry for that little rant. I'm just telling you right now, I cannot stress this enough. If you want to get the results in cold calling that no one else does, you're going to have to do the work that no one else will be willing to do. And if you do that, I promise you, your life will be completely changed. I'm telling you. If you have this stupid, crazy expectation that you're going to make $5 million this year in cold calling, you have to match your expectations and your goals with your grind. I see this happening all the time. You know, people's grind is not equal to their goals. Especially with cold calling. It's like, hey, I want to make $500K this year. Well, let's see your grind. If your grind was not equal to that goal, you're not going to be successful. When I had a goal of making $100K, my grind was equal to my goal. I was living, breathing every single second in this business, learning it up, reading real estate laws, putting bandit signs out all the time, repurchasing bandit signs. I was doing it all. So have that question for yourself too. Is my grind equal to my goal? That's what you got to think about, right? So the next part is, it's like, what is the best list for cold calling? And so let's kind of break down the three things again. We have list, skip tracing, and script. The hardest part, the one where you should really be focusing on, is lists, especially for cold calling starting out. And this brings us back to the question, like, what are the best lists for cold calling? What is the best list for actually getting deals in wholesaling real estate and for cold calling? And everyone who knows me, that watches my live streams, MJJ Smooth Criminal. Let's look at the chat real quick. Samuel's also always on here. Steven on here. Gabriel. Justin always on here. Ladybug. Bug always on here. Fidel's been on here lately. Nate. Restore It. Don't Junk It. Seeing a lot of new people in the chat, which is great. All these people, I don't want to, Mustache Mike, like all these people that 1 Ton Patriot, Brandon, I think, Russian Eskimo, like all these people that have been watching me for a while and heard me, they know what I'm going to say. And the question is for everyone who's actually watched all of my stuff, Olivia, Roger, like all the Wu-Tang, Nando guys, I see you guys in the chat. I see you guys in the chat. The thing is, if you've seen enough of my content and you know what I'm about to say, the best list for cold calling, you have to ask yourself this question. It's going to be a tough question. I hate calling people out that give me all this support, but I want to say this. If you know what I'm about to say is the best list, are you pulling that list? And if you are not having the success you want, why do you know in the back of your head that's the best list and you're not doing it? I'm telling you right now, this is kind of hard pill to swallow for a lot of people that watch my stuff. But like, if you watch my stuff and you're not getting the results that you want, or you don't think you frankly deserve, why aren't you pulling that list? And that's one thing I could tell you right now. But this list is government lists. I've said it every single time, and I'll keep saying it forever. I'm telling you, Olivia knows what's up. Probates, right? Olivia knows probates, water shutoffs, government lists, fire damage properties, code violations. Olivia's watched my stuff. She knows what I'm about to say. Not high equity. If you're doing bigger scale stuff, then yes, but probably not, right? So government lists, these are your water shutoffs, your code violations, your technically pre-foreclosures, but I would not cold call pre-foreclosure. That is a different video. That's like a reverse drawing for dollar strategy. But I'm telling you, liens, tax liens, these are the deals I'd be going after. Probates, right? Tired landlords is a great one. That's like a listrei.com list. Vacant houses, drawing for dollars, probably gonna be your best one, honestly. My favorite cold calling list right now is probably gonna be drawing for dollars, just because you don't have to cold call 8 hours a day, right? If you're drawing for dollars and you cold call 1 to 2 hours a day, that is very sufficient. If you spend 3 to 4 hours a week drawing for dollars, that's honestly probably 4 hours of cold calling. That's all you really have to do for the entire week. And everyone knows I was cold calling 25 hours a day. I was cold calling 25 hours a week. That's how gurus are. Gurus are like, I cold call 25 hours a day. 25 hours a week I was cold calling. If I knew just drawing for dollars would be easier, I probably would have done that instead. But I was doing virtual, so it was different. Niche list too. These are like, we can mix tired landlord with equity and see how many other properties they own. Like niche list can get in there. All in freewholesaling.com. Telling you, cannot stress this enough. But most people don't get this right, and they have to start getting this right if you want to be successful in this business. But there's a list I'd be doing. Now, next part here is skip tracing, right? What is skip tracing I recommend? TruePeopleSearch.com or Batch Leads. So TruePeopleSearch.com is a free skip tracing. What is skip tracing? Skip tracing is basically the process of finding somebody's phone number. It's a great one to do. It's definitely one I recommend. TruePeopleSearch.com is what I recommend for free. If you pay, use like ZachData.com, which is the link to get batch leads. Or use like code Zach on batch leads to get 50% off the skip tracing. Whatever one you want. That's where I'd skip trace. And the last and probably most important part here, and this is one I have to stress, it's like you want to get the script, right? You want to get the correct script. You want to get the results that others don't. Like, what's the macho script? Like, what's this super sexy script? What is the script for cold calling that will change all my answers? And all my problems are going to get answered if I do the script. There's not a script like that. What I can tell you is, if you do a super simple script, this is a script that you can do to be successful. This is a script that's been proven. And this is a script that isn't complicated. You can actually memorize in your head. That's one I'd be doing. And this is my 2-step script for cold calling success. Literally, you're just asking them these 2 questions, right? Are you the owner of 123 Main Street? And then you ask them, if they say yes to that, are you interested in selling that property? That's my script. Are you the owner? You want to make sure the person's the owner. Then you ask them, are you interested in selling that property? If they say no, go to the next one. If they say yes, boom, you qualify. How do you qualify the seller, right? You ask them the 4 questions of qualifying every single seller: motivation, condition, time frame, price. Motivation, hey, why are you looking to sell the property? Condition, can you tell me a little about the property? The roof, AC, does it need updating? Time frame, when you're looking to sell the property within a week, month, a year. Price, how much they need to sell the property for. So from the bat, what is my 2-step script for cold calling success? Again, are you the owner of the property? Are you interested? If a no, next call. But if yes, we qualify them. Motivation, condition, time frame, price. Boom. That is my cold calling sales thing. That is my script. Thank you for paying $1,000 for my course right here to go learn my cold calling, right? Like you guys, this would probably be one of the biggest values of $1,000. Like if you spend 1,000, it's probably one of the better courses, right? That's the sad part about courses. So that's what I can tell you. So that's what I have. And I stick by that. I stick by how important that script is and how simple that script needs to be to have success in this business. So we got the monitor over here today. So because we shifted the studio's still here. I just shifted the angle because I want to switch it up on y'all. Confuse the mind when you're watching my videos. If you're binging my videos, I don't want you to have the same look every single time, right? So maybe this time you're binging and you see it like this, right? So let's get it. Let's go over some comments and let's go break down exactly the questions you guys have for me and see what we got. But again, guys, if you want to learn wholesaling real estate absolutely for free, cannot stress this enough, go right here to freewholesaling.com. That is the greatest way to actually go get a deal right now. If you want to learn, that's my free wholesaling course. We have 20,000 people in that course. Remember that one more time. This is the largest course for wholesaling real estate in the history of real estate wholesaling. Think about that for a second. 20,000 people in freewholesaling.com. If that does not amaze you, it is stinking ridiculous how many people are in there. The only thing more mind-boggling than that is knowing I have 35,000 people in the real estate mastermind we have. More people are in the mastermind than in the course, which is kind of weird, but that's the truth. We have 35,000 people in the Wholesaling Houses for Real mastermind. That is a Facebook group / mastermind. If you want to join, I accept everyone. Actually, no, I do not accept everyone. If you are a guru, you are not allowed in. I've denied gurus a bunch of times. They've emailed me and they have messaged me like, "So why did I get denied from the mastermind? Because you're a guru." I don't say that. I just ignore the text. But what I can tell you is, if you want to join the biggest community for wholesaling real estate, mastermind wise, just go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. There's not a larger wholesaling mastermind on the planet than that. And there's not a real estate course this big. It's all for free, freewholesaling.com. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about wholesaling real estate today. Let's kind of break down all your questions you have, and let's see what I can talk about, see how I can help you guys out. Today, we're getting a lot of comments, so this is going to be really fun, and let's bring it up. Oh, that's a great question right here, Lauren says, where do I put my credit card info? The cool part about freewholesaling.com, again, there's literally no way you can put a credit card in. You just literally, all you do is make a username password so you can track your own progress on it. So when you log back in, it'll tell you which ones you've watched before. So you can create your own account on there. Also, so I can literally email you the password. And I got to email it to you to make sure it's not a bot, right? So, because I have to pay for every person that hops on there, right? So like if you join the mastermind, if you join the course, I have to pay money to have you on that course. So if a bot of a guru gets 1 million requests, it's going to cost me a lot of money. So I have to make sure I get legit info in there. You can't put credit card in there, but I want to make sure you're legit. If I got to spend money to host servers for you, to literally create an account for you and have you on there, I got to get legit info. So Nando, what's up? Montia, what is up? Olivia Summer says, let's go. Appreciate it. We live, baby. Who's living their best life? Let's get it, Justin. I promise you right now, man, I'm living my best life. 2021 is the greatest year of my life, and I expect 2022 to be even better. I mean, every aspect of my life's been amazing, and it just keeps getting better. God willing, even better this year. But I'm happy where I'm at right now. If I had to stop wholesaling real estate, I'd be less happy, obviously. But my finances wouldn't be affected. I mean, obviously be effective if I didn't wholesale, right? But I have enough passive income coming through and assets I actually have where I don't have to work another day in my life. So like money's not an issue. Obviously, if all my assets went down 50%, I'd still be fine. I can still live very comfortably. But it's not that fulfillment of putting these gurus out of business. That's really the fun part I get going on right now. Wholesaling real estate's fun, but trolling a guru or two, it's pretty fun, especially when a guru invites you to a live and you stop there. Martin says, "Get out of bed, let's go." So let's answer some questions we got here, and this is a good question right here. So this question is what? So I'm getting asked here from Siegel, what dialer do you use? So what is the best cold calling dialer to use? What I could tell you right now is it's a free dialer or a pay dialer. Those are the two type of dialers you have. If you absolutely don't want to pay for a dialer, which frankly, if you haven't got any real estate deals or you're brand new in cold calling, your budget's not there, don't do it. If you're brand new, I think a Google Voice and just copy and paste the numbers you got in there. It's a one-line dialer. You're really not going to get spam likely on there. You're going to be fine. You can have a local area phone number on there. You can live in Kansas and cold call in like California, and you can have a local California area code in there, which is pretty cool, which gives you a good, initial, it gives you basically an initial head start when talking to the seller. So Google Voice is going to be one of my favorite ones for free. My favorite paid one is ZachDialer.com. But remember that is paid, and that's a triple line dialer. It can go up to 10 lines, but you can get a lot of spam likelies with the new regulations coming in. I'd keep it at 3 lines. Some of my favorite other dialers I'd recommend. Again, ZachDialer.com is a trial. I'm not telling you to go use it or buy it. I want you to try the dialer out for free and figure out if a dialer is something you want. Because maybe you try that trial out and then you're like, well, I'm actually doing Mojo dialer. And you try the dialer out and then you do Mojo and then you're fine. I don't really care. It's a free thing to try. And that's why I think it's great for people. That's great for people. So ZachDialer.com is the one I use. Other great ones to use that I don't think one's better than the other. People ask me the difference between like Property Radar and like Property Radar versus some data, right? And like PropStream. PropStream's the king, like when it comes to like those. For dialers, they're pretty much all the same. And they all use Twilio integration. So Zach Dialer is going to be very equal to Mojo Dialer, Call Tools. That's kind of like the ones I'd recommend. Anything out of there gets a little risky. That's probably where I'd be going out. The other ones are like out of the United States. Like some are like a Canadian company. I probably not going to take them. Great question, though. Hope everyone is enjoying their Tuesday. So today is Tuesday. So, of course, we're doing a Tuesday live stream. Been up and at 'em since 6 a.m. Where are my early bird folks at? Oh, snap. Let's get it. Best hours in the evening. 222. Let's go. So excited just in time. Anybody try advertising like this? With cold calling? Maybe. All right, let's see. Juan, you're awesome, dude. Thank you for everything you do. Of course, thank you. Gabriel says, do you have a cold calling team? If yes, what are some recent tips you've given to your team? The best tips I've given for cold calling, especially for like my team and like everyone else's team, is increase the length of call, qualify the seller, and just stick to the script, right? You don't want to get discouraged when you're cold calling, especially for like your regular marketing. Just have a smile on your face. I think that's probably the best tip I can give to anyone cold calling right now is just smile while you're talking, like especially over the phone. Psychologically, you're going to be in a better mood and your tonality is going to be way better. So that's the one tip I can give to you. If you just want to have some better results, make sure you're smiling while you're calling. 110 says my number one marketing method right now is cold calling. Let's go. Woo! Love it. When wholesaling vacant land, is cold calling or SMS text? Wait. When wholesaling vacant land, is cold calling or SMS text blasting better? The best marketing for vacant land is going to be cold calling. SMS text blasting seems better, but cost-wise, cold calling is going to be better. If you're brand new, cold calling is going to be better. Now, if I'm doing vacant land around the country, SMS might be a little better. You have to do both and figure out which one's the best. Personally, I've seen better results from cold calling, but ultimately it's up to you which one's going to be better. A lot of the vacant landowners are older, so cold calling works a little better from there. If you're younger, SMS is going to work a little better. Nate says, my son is 17 and he's afraid to cold call. Any tips I keep giving him, telling him the worst thing that happens is the person says no? Nate, shout out to your son trying to get into cold calling. He's afraid to cold call. My best advice is if you are afraid to cold call, the best thing to do is just cold call. It's like, you remember as a kid, you were scared to go off the diving board? I mean, I was. What's the number one thing to get rid of that fear? Jump off the diving board. And I'm not saying to push somebody off a diving board, right? It's probably, I mean, I don't think you can get too hurt if you cannonball, but it's not like pushing somebody off something that scary. But the problem is you just have to make that dive. You know, you're scared to go, you're scared to do anything. You just got to do it. Like that's the best experience out there. So it's like when you started out and you're scared to actually talk to a seller. Once you talk to the seller like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times, it's not scary anymore. And that's the one thing I tell you, like starting out, like let's say you started driving. It seems scary to go drive, especially when you start out. I was eager to drive, but like a lot of people are scared to ride a bike as a kid. You start riding the bike a little more, it's not scary anymore. So the best way to go over that fear of cold calling is to just do it, take action. And once you get the courage to take action there, you'll start taking courage and action to start doing other things in life. And that's when things change. You might be afraid, oh, what if someone says no, or they start cursing at you and they say something mean. It's not fun when someone says that, but I always come with the mindset. It's like, I don't care what you have to say to me. I treat this like people online. Say whatever hateful, vile thing you want from me. If I know it's not true, I don't really care. Again, I only seek the validation of one person in my life. That's my mama. If my mama thinks I'm cool, I don't really care what anyone else really has to say, right? And that's the way I look at it, right? So who cares what someone says about me? If my mom thinks I'm cool, that's all. And she thinks I'm pretty cool. So as of today. So we'll see if things change, but I'm pretty good now. That's the mindset you have to have, right? I always say that to like haters in the comments. Oh, Zach, you're a piece of bleep. I'm like, my mom thinks I'm cool, and that's all that matters. These haters, literally, they have no response when you say that. It's the funniest thing ever. So I think it's funny. And remember, if you're cold calling and someone says something mean, they don't really know you, right? Like, it's like if someone actually knows you well and they say something mean, that probably hurts a little more, but they don't know you. Like I let's go, baby. Let's go, Michelle. Caleb says, yo, Zach, Grand Rapids in the house. Awesome. Today is Tuesday. Awesome. I have the probate and the mail merges are not working. I'm getting frustrated. I would probably go into the mail merge and shift them if you're doing it on Word. If you're doing it on Google Docs, you might have to change it up. Russian Eskimo says, gonna hit some MLS today in Georgia. Awesome. Russian Eskimo has a good question here. It's like, do you like fire damage properties? I like fire damage properties. The issue most people have with fire damage properties is the seller thinks the property is worth more than what it really is, even though they get an insurance check. So if it's like a half burnt fire damage property, it's going to get a lot harder to get that deal because you can kind of salvage it and the insurance check isn't too big. Now, if it's just a total gut, the whole thing got burned down and you got to tear it down, a lot of sellers aren't too happy about that. And if they just want to get rid of the property, if you have the right developer, they'll develop that land or builder, you can do really good fire damage properties. If you do not have the right builder, you're screwed. Like that's how you become successful using fire damage properties and marketing to them. All righty. Houston in the house. John, what is up? Gabriel says tips for focused and consistent work and avoiding procrastination. The best motivator I've found to actually get going and be productive in like wholesaling work, in real estate, anything, is just remembering your goal. The best thing also what I've done is I like doing this like the night before, like I got something to do. I create a list because I'm very analytical and say, hey, I got to make 300 phone calls. I got to skip trace this list. And then I got to go to the clerk of the court and pull the probates in person. If that's what you have to do, boom, 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 boom. And I just don't stop till that list is done. I'm good to go. Like if I have yard work I have to do and it's like I have to mulch, I have to go cut the grass, I have to trim the tree, I have to do this, pick up all the weeds, I can get that done pretty fast. Now, if I go outside and say, what do I have to do on the lawn today? You're going to miss like 3 things, right? It's like, wait, what else? I thought I had to do something else today. Whatever. I don't think I do. And then you're like, oh, shoot, I forgot the probates, right? Write down a list and just do the bullet points on the list. That's where I found the best results are. Also remember of all the people that told you couldn't do it. I have a pretty fun list of that, especially when I worked at old bag boy job. It always got me motivated. Cold calling is tough, but I'm doing it every day. Awesome, Michelle. I would prefer to cold call than text. Awesome. Gabriel says, this is my biggest issue. Number 1 tip to avoid procrastination. Set a schedule and stick to it. Choose 2 to 5 hour time blocks for marketing. Oh, yeah. Also, you do that. Like I've created a very, very consistent schedule of actually going out here and talking to sellers and actually like So like one thing I've done is like from when I was cold calling like in college is like, hey, 2 to 7 p.m. That's the time to be cold calling. So I get asked all the time, like, Zach, what's the perfect cold calling schedule? 2 to 7 p.m. This is the schedule I did in college. And this is the one I did when I came back. It's like 2 to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, 5 days a week for a year straight. I've never stopped at those times. For example, I do my live streams Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Rick hops on Fridays. We do 5, usually to 7, sometimes an hour. But like 5 o'clock, I'm always there live. Maybe I go live at like 5:09 or whatever. Like, give me 10 minutes, right? Got to deal with technical issues and stuff like that. But like at 5 or by 5:10, like I'm here and I'm providing value for you. Like I'm consistent. Like consistency is something that I always strive on. I always do. That's when I can always tell you. So make a schedule, stick to it. Discipline equals freedom. And actually have your discipline in your business and it will change things for you. I promise you right now, discipline is going to change a lot of things in your business. It's definitely something that I would be recommending. So create a consistent schedule. Let's go, Brandy. What is up? Awesome. Love to see it. Love to see it. Hard time pulling government lists because I'm out of state. Let me know. I think you're in New York, but let me know where you're actually trying to pull the list. Woo! Steven says, hired a VA 7 days, complete 28 hours, not a single lead yet, calling high equity. What market? Let me know the script. Like you gave me the list. Skip tracing's fine. So let me know the script. And I need to know the market too. That's actually part of list too. Gold. One Ton Patriot says, the best piece of advice I've ever gotten that seriously resonated with me is it's not you, it's your market. You may need to try a different market. That's true. Restore Junk says, I saw someone, a guru, they didn't like me. Their ad for the live. You got to remember, like, if a guru is spending money on ads before a YouTube video, especially mine, why are they targeting you guys on ads? Problem is YouTube makes me have ads. I've given the privacy policy to everyone, but here's the thing. They're trying to sell you on something. Maybe they got a $10,000 course. Maybe they have a $15,000 course they don't like saying unless they get pressed on it. Maybe they have a $50,000 course, right? Why are they selling you an ad? What I've seen is I'm the only free person out here. I haven't spent one ounce of money on an ad on YouTube for you guys or Facebook. It's all for free. So you got to remember that too. It's like, well, why are people spending ads? Because they're trying to get money from you and they're trying to extract money from you. Go see it, right? If you get an ad before this, that person who did that ad is trying to extract money from you. And I think it's hilarious. Do you think it's more difficult to process the finding and closing a seller or a buyer? Seller's way harder because you can control a seller and that deal. The buyer, you can control the deal with the buyer. The seller, it's kind of hard because they are the deal, right? Damien says, no live cold calling today. I'll do a live on that though. Yes, I agree. Cold calling, you get faster results, whether it's a yes or no. Oh, yeah. Gloa Ryder says, just got the code violation list from the city. Haha, very nervous and my English was very bad. Nobody cares about your accent. And this is the one thing I figured out about cold calling. And it's your confidence is going to be the most important thing. This is a very good question I always get asked. And your confidence, it doesn't matter if you have an accent or not, especially when you're talking to a seller. If you have the confidence in your heart and soul to actually go out here and talk to the seller, you're going to do well. Confidence is going to be key. When you're a beginner, you're brand new, and you want to beat your competition or you want to stand out from your competition, the confidence you have is going to separate you from everyone else. When you're brand new and you think you're not good because you don't know enough, no, it's because your confidence is not the same as someone who's like a veteran. If you have confidence to actually go to seller out, if you actually have the confidence to help a seller out, and you know in your heart of heart, you know the process of actually putting a property under contract, you should have all the confidence in the world to go help the seller out and be good in wholesaling. I found 5 houses withdrawing for dollars so far. Is there an amount of homes I should find or call as I find? Just call as you find them. That'll probably be the easiest one. How can I skip trace LLC? TruePeopleSearch.com. Hey, Zach, I appreciate all you do. I'm having an issue with pulling lists from my county auditor site. There's so much filters. Any help? Yeah, what list are you trying to pull? Let me know. How many probate leads are in your area a month? Probably 200, I would say. They're like leads. And then for the 3 or 4 counties, probably 500. 1,000. Once you actually do cross-referencing and stuff, it's less than 500. I love cold calling. I enjoy it. Awesome. You call this a free 10,000 course in your description. Awesome. Glory Rider says, couldn't seem to get a hold of this county list though. Does anyone know which county department it has to county code? Well, let me know what county you're in. It's my list game. Got to step it up. Awesome. What company do you use to skip trace? TruePeopleSearch.com. Let's see what else. Michelle says, Zach, what are some examples of not having a good list other than getting a lot of no's? Well, it's going to be a very saturated list. So the worst lists out here are saturated lists. This is a list that everyone can get. So if a list is really easy to pull, it's probably going to be very saturated. High equity, vacant properties. These are some of the hardest lists to cold call because everyone's able to get that. Everyone already talks about it. What nobody talks about really is probates. Nobody really talks about that probates are probably one of the best lists to be pulling. And they're really niched out and they're really motivated. No one really talks about it. So that's why it's a really good list to be going after. Now, if every guru out here starts talking about probates, then it's going to be a little harder to do, more saturated, but still kind of a harder list to do. The best list is a list that no one can buy. This is going to be like drawing for dollars. And that's just you drive around and you actually have to find that list and no one else can actually pull it or pay for it. That's one of the best ones out. So that's never seen a good list and a bad list. Zach always has the best content. Love it. Right. Sun up, sun down. Awesome. Man, I could play basketball 5 hours a day in the summer growing up. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's a good question here. How many hours a day do you think you need to make virtual wholesaling work? if you're brand new starting out, you don't have to look at it as like how many hours until I can get a deal. You have to look at it sort of like Elon Musk looks at it. And this is like the Elon Musk wholesaling approach, right? Elon Musk looks at a job or he looks at a business and he says, how much effort do I have to put in for the chance of success being well? And that's the way you look at virtual wholesaling. The chance of you being successful in virtual wholesaling, if you work 40, 50 hours a week, is probably pretty good. I think you have a pretty good chance of success doing that. Let's put that like 70, 65, let's put 60%. Now, if you start working 80, 90 hours a week, chance of success is probably 90 to 95%. Now, if you're working 10 hours a week, chance of success probably 40, right? So the more hours you put in this business, the better chance of you actually finding someone who wants to sell the deal. So you can actually sell that. So put that property under contract and then sell to a cash buyer for profit. So you do it like the way Elon Musk does it. The more work you put in, the better probability of success of that business. Same thing with virtual wholesaling, right? The more hours you put in, the better chance. There's no certain one. I know people that put in 5 hours to get a deal, right? I know people that put 40 hours and not get a deal. It really depends how much effort you're going to put in over a longer period of time consistently to get a deal or not. Every single time, hands down, that's what it's about. Friends and family will be quick to discourage you. Oh, yeah. Awesome. How much do you market to get your deals? Probably about $4,000 to get a deal right now. What if you need to do school, sports, exercise, family, and other things I have and prioritize and only do wholesale for an hour, 30 minutes? What can you expect results as a beginner with no knowledge? I don't like this. So, Gabriel, I don't like this question. Here's the thing. I love talking to people like this because it's like, Zach, you don't get it. I have school. I have to exercise. And I have a family. It's like, bro, when I was 17, what do you think I did? Do you think I was not in high school? Do you think I didn't work out every day? You don't think I did like a 2-hour wrestling practice every single day? Spent time with my family? And then had a wholesale outside of that and do homework? Like, yes. Dude, I was doing this all while in college full-time also. I was taking 20 credits a semester so I can graduate. I graduated college in 18 months while wholesaling just because I wanted to get rid of it. It's just a checkbox for me. The thing is, this is an interesting one. It's like, if Gabriel, the problem is you can say this over the comment. No ill will towards you. If I take your phone and look at your screen time, I promise you I can cut a lot of stuff out of it. A lot. Spent 30 minutes on Instagram. Spent 45 minutes playing video games. Spent 20 minutes watching a Manchester City highlight, right? Over time, if you cut the stupid stuff out of your schedule, you have way more time than anything. Let's say this. Hey, how many hours are you sleeping? Sleeping 8? Try 7. See if that helps. And you get an extra hour, right? I'm not promoting sleeping 4 hours a day. I've always slept 8, 9 hours. Sometimes 10 if I was tired. But I'd make it up. Like I would sleep 5 hours, bandit signs, and then take like a 2-hour nap, right? That's the thing. It's like, oh, how do I prioritize all this stuff? Or, like you don't get it, Zach. Dude, 17, I did that, right? The problem is those excuses don't work for me. And if you give an excuse, oh, Zach, I have kids and a family, go talk to Rick. He had a full-time job. And on top of that, I was working 40 hours a week as a bag boy while wholesaling. Okay? If I can make it work, and I spend every living hour doing the side hustle thing, you can do the same thing too. I'm getting asked here in the comments too. I'm not going to answer this because if you mention someone's name that sells a course, I will not promote them. But it says, do you promote this person, this TikToker? Is he a guru? I'm not calling it to be a guru because I don't want anyone to sue me. There's multiple people mentioned in the comments, so you can't really tell which one I'm talking about. But if they sell you a $10,000 course to learn this business, I would want my people watching me to let me know what do I think, because I'm not going to mention it. But I would want people in the comments to answer this for me. If somebody sells a $10,000 course to learn wholesaling real estate, Do you think that Zach Ginn thinks they are a guru or not? I would love the people in the comments to answer that, because I don't want to officially be put on a legal spot to call this person something a guru, but I would let the people in the comments decide for me if someone who sells a $10,000 course is a guru or not. Especially a person that claims that the lead comes to you. That's called inbound marketing. I just literally told you it for free. These gurus, they will literally tell you to do bandit signs, okay? And they'll say the lead comes to you, and they'll put the sexy name, like the inbound marketing blueprint, right? They'll put a sexy name on it, even though it's really drawing for dollars, or really reverse drawing for dollars on there, or like sticky notes or door hangers. And they say the lead comes to you, and they'll sell it for $10,000, and people buy it because it's got a sexy name to it, even though it's something that I talk about for hours and hours and hours. So if I get asked a question of like, do you think this person's a guru? And then I look them up and they try to sell you a $10,000 course. What do you think I'm going to say on there? And one of these people that mentioned in the comments, there's 4 gurus that got mentioned in the comments. One of them sells a $30,000 course. I'm not going to mention it, but that person also, I'm not saying the person that asked, but what I can tell you is, out of the 4 gurus mentioned in these comments, one of them, not going to mention names, sells a $30,000 course. And I just want you to think, do I think they're a guru or not? This is insane. What type of world is someone going to spend $30,000 to learn wholesaling real estate? A business that I teach absolutely for free. And people follow my instructions and they make 6 to 7 figures. I don't get it. Literally, if you want to go talk to me one-on-one, if you're watching this right now, you want to talk to me, go to Wholesaling Houses for on Facebook. Join me every single Thursday. I have the link literally put in the announcements, and you can talk to me one-on-one. If you do not believe me, go to Wholesaling Houses for on Facebook. Apply. It's free. 99%. If you're not a guru, I'll let you in. Okay? I'll let you in. There will be a link on the announcements that says, here's the link to join one-on-one with Zach and Rick. Talk to me one-on-one. And I will talk to you one-on-one absolutely for free. I don't understand this. Why do people spend money like that if I'll talk to you one-on-one, right? Everybody knows this. I'm going to sit back through the comments here. Like, let's kind of break this down. Corey. Talk to Corey one-on-one, right? I actually talked to him over the phone personally once. I'm just going through the comments here. Let's see who's hopped on here. 1 Ton Patriot Brandon. Talk to him one-on-one, right? I'm telling you guys, if you want to hop on and talk to me one-on-one, you will. Dylan always hops on. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, it is absolutely free to do. You don't have to pay me $30,000, okay? Jeez Louise. I just... my gosh, if you guys are on the follow me on Instagram, I'm starting to do my guru disses on when I work out. I think that was funny. I think today was let me see what today was. I'll go show you what today was. Today was let's see if I can put it on my phone. I thought that was a funny one today. I'm doing my guru disses for the day. Today was, I'll see if I can pop it on here. It was me. It was me working out with a weighted vest because I was doing pull-ups. And I said, got to train with a weighted vest because these gurus be lightweights. And I mean it. Okay, these gurus be lightweights. I literally have to do pull-ups with a weighted vest because these gurus are just, they're lightweights to me, okay? They're jokes. Friends and family are the biggest. I'm not calling them enemies, but they're going to be discouraging because they want what's best for you. And for most people starting a business, they mostly fail. So they're actually going into a really good, they're going in from a good place of heart. A lot of people are not risk adverse. I'm telling you right now. Here's one thing I have too. Shane says, I will try and get a one-on-one with you. Why is it try? Why aren't you going to say, Zach, I'm going to go talk to you one-on-one? Shout out to Danny in Orlando. I remember Danny. Danny says, Zach, I'm going to see you Thursday. I can't wait. I say, see you there Thursday. He hops on and I see him Thursday. He had the mindset, I'm going to talk to Zach one-on-one on Thursday. No matter what. Whatever happens, I'm going to talk to him one-on-one. You have to have that mindset. Shane, I want you to say, if you were actually going to see me, are you going to do a one-on-one with me or are you going to try? It's 5 to 7 p.m. Are you going to go talk to me one-on-one or are you going to try? Completely different mindset shifts that you have to be making in your life. I'll take that $300 for my 5 minutes of effort. I'm telling you, these gurus, like, I don't even talk about half the stuff I have to deal with them because it's insane. Once I had a person say, Zach, can I network with you? This guru. Okay. I said, fine. You know what? Whatever. Right. He's kind of close to my market, whatever. He told me, and he also sent me this, an agreement to go network with him for 30 minutes. If I did not call him or I did not show up to the Zoom meeting, he would bill me $1,000 for his wasted time. As I immediately blocked that person. These gurus are like, their egos are at a different level. They're calling, gurus are calling other gurus the king of wholesaling. Okay. Like, this is like a crown. There ain't no crown. You literally, I always say this, like, I am nowhere in this real estate, like, influencer, whatever you want to call it. I am nothing. I am nothing. Okay. I am dirt when it comes to teaching wholesaling because the value I bring, when I try to help the people out, I am nothing without the people supporting me. That who's the king. Okay. Do not call me the king. Don't call anyone. I don't like that. I am nothing without the people. And I do this for the people. I am not just one person trying to teach wholesaling. I like to think I am a collection of the people getting sick of the gurus and me trying to lead the charge of it. I do not call me the king. Calling somebody a king of wholesaling is disgusting, especially when you sell a $20,000 course. It's ridiculous. Like, I always say this, like, let me bring this up. Every time a guru starts stuff with me, I always say this. I always do this. Hold on, let me share this meme. This is a meme I always say. When a guru tries me, especially a guru that I've talked to, a guru that I've shown the way, I always do this, you know? I always have to say this. Let me pop it up. And yeah, I have fun with memes, so deal with it. You got a memer on the live stream. Probably not good. But this is what I always have to say. Every single time a guru tries me, I always like sharing this. It's like, where is it? Here we go. Every time. It's like, I say this every time, you know. Every time a guru tries me, they call themselves the king of wholesaling, right? It's like, I'm going to make this bigger. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Like, if these gurus keep selling courses, do I need to go on another live stream and embarrass you? Do I have to? I don't know. The question is, when somebody keeps trying me, especially a guru, and I've already finished them, like, how many times do I teach you this lesson? And that's the question I always have. It's like, how many times I got to teach you this lesson? Stop selling coaching, guys. I'm telling you. These gurus be trying me every single time. All right, let's see here. My gosh, we got a lot of comments. I'm trying to get through this. Okay. Trying to not miss everyone's comments. I think I got to start from the top. All right. I already answered your question here. Here we go. All right, I'm going to start with Sam here. I've got a lot of questions. I'm trying to think. List game, talked about that. All right, talk to you. Talk to Steven. Roger, talk to him. Here we go. Okay, this one. Actually, first of all, Jason, what is up? This will be my year. We have to put in the work. Oh, yeah, 100%. All right, let's see here. So we're going to ask here. In Miami-Dade, the utility department told me that they aren't cutting water since there's a state of emergency. There's no list. Anyone else running this issue? Mark, this isn't an issue. If they're not cutting off water, then there's not a water shutoff list. You have to actually change the way you talk about it, okay? You have to see people that aren't paying the water bill. That's a list you have to be good. So asking people of the list of people having their water shut off, it's probably not going to be a good list, okay? But if you go after a list of people that are behind on the payments for the water, that's what you have to be going after. Okay? And that's the one thing I have to tell you. All right, let's see here. All righty. Oh my gosh, the amount of comments. I love the support though. It means everything. All right. James says, great stuff. Will this list work with vacant land? Some of it, like a code violation list, no. Vacant land's kind of a high equity play. It kind of stinks, but like you don't have to call all the vacant land because there's really not that much. That's what I'd be going after. How do you do it if you're at 17 being underage? Because I'm 17, not knowing how it works since I'm underage. If you're underage, you can do a couple of options in wholesaling. So if you're 17 years old, you want to start wholesaling, either you can get a parent to sign the contract for you, and then they get the money, then they give you the money, then you help them out with the taxes there. Some states, I'm not a lawyer, so don't quote me on this, but I know a lot of people, not going to mention names, I know a lot of people that created an LLC with their parent. You can actually be underage for certain states and have an LLC, then sign it for the LLC or have a parent sign for the LLC, and then the money goes in an LLC. Then once you hit 18, you can have the money in that LLC. There's a lot of ways around it. I would look things up. There's a lot of creative ways around it you can do. Networking Facebook groups is the best. Oh, yeah. Nate says, my stepson looks up to you a lot. Can you give him a personal little shout out for him and tell him why he shouldn't get discouraged having trouble at first cold call at 17? Nate, bro, I'm telling you right now, Nate Hackle. All right. Let me this to you, Nate. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, I'll make a note of this, okay? If you give me his phone number and you DM me, hey, this is Nate. I had the 17-year-old stepson. If you comment below, I'll personally call him on my phone after this live and I'll talk to him. If he's shy, I probably don't want to put him on the live, right? I'll personally call him. I'll probably give myself 10 minutes for it because I'll probably do that. Or I'll probably call him tomorrow when I'm walking to the gym or something. And I'll give him a call when I got time. But give me his phone number. I'll talk to him. But you have to put it in the description. Or email. Go to email to whatever one you want. Steven says, I cold call SMS 800 leads. Yeah, that's probably change the skip tracing. Skip tracing sometimes change per market, so check it out. Just drive for dollars is fun. I'm telling you right now, I have a fun time with it. You know, seriously considering buying a STEM player, listen to Donda 2, and teaching you all how to drive for dollars. I possibly could buy a STEM player, pop it right here, and have a Donda 2 listening party. Considering it really hard right now. What if the seller asks to speak to a lawyer? Let him speak to a lawyer. That's what I'd say. Like you sound really fishy when you say, don't talk to your lawyer when signing this legally binding contract. Have them talk to him. If it makes them comfortable, makes them comfortable, right? You're here to make the seller feel comfortable too. There's no issue with that. There's nothing illegal you're doing either. So you'll be fine. Got my first deal under contract. What? About to have my second one tomorrow and studied your course for 2 months and started last week. You changed my life, man. Wyatt, let's go. Come on. People ask me what I do. Help the people out. Can you break down the process for a foreclosure? So the basic of the process. I had a pre-foreclosure live I did a couple days ago. Check that one out. It's going to be a lot more detailed than whatever I say here. With the process of a foreclosure, usually you're behind about 3 or 4 payments. You get a letter. And what I've seen is about probably a month or 2 after that, an auction date set, the property gets auctioned off. Depends on your state, though. But the wholesaling process for foreclosure is we're going to wholesale before that auction date's done. And then we just find a cash buyer and move fast. That's going to be the best one. Door knocking is going to be the best marketing strategy for that, though. Martin says, just started cold calling drive for dollars last week. If you're having trouble starting out, just do it. You'll get more confidence. That's all I say. Oh, yeah. Keystone says, how should we market pre-foreclosures in virtual markets? SMS text blasting actually be better than cold calling for pre-foreclosures because they got loan sharks. They got like the bank calling them. Texting is going to be better. To what degree do you recommend PropStream? If you're going to cold call, SMS text blast, or do direct mail, then that's probably going to be your best bet. If you're just drawing for dollars and you want the app, sure, and the comms tool, that's great. But if you're using PropStream just because you hear people saying it and you think it's going to change your business and you're not going to do cold calling, SMS text blasting, or direct mail, I probably wouldn't do it. That's what that's the mindset I have. And test that out. You also get a free trial at zachdata.com for batch and listrei.com. Use the free trial for both and see which one you like. Is it good to have an LLC for wholesaling? Yes. I recommend you get 2 deals first before you have an LLC. Andreas says, how many records do you pull per cold caller and how many calls a day should cold callers make you think? So how many calls per day you should do? It really depends on the list, obviously. If you're doing a regular like high equity list or vacant list, I think you should get through at least 500 to 1,000 a day. Or just make your own goal. If it's drawing for dollars, do like 100 a day, right? If it's a high equity, it's got to be a lot more. If you're using triple line dialers to make it a lot more, it's really the best way to figure out how many calls you have to make per day is to call for a week straight, the hardest you can, and then just make that your goal, right? I figure on a week, all I could cold call is 1,000 people a week. I'm doing it 5 days a week. Then just have 200 a day be your goal, right? Again, my goal should not be what your goal is sometimes for a lot of things. It's like, you got a basketball player. His goal is to do 10 dunks. I can't do a 1 dunk right now. I'm working on I'm dunking, but like I can't do it right now. So my goals are going to be completely different. Doesn't make me better or worse than you, but you just got to be at your own pace. Steven says, struggling to get leads in Phoenix, weather market to try virtually. So Steven, if you're struggling to get leads, especially in a saturated market, 99% of the time, you have not driven for dollars enough. And that's one thing I'll stress so much. If you're struggling to get leads right now, go in your car, do it on the weekend, put on some fun music you like, and just drive around town and look for ugly looking houses. Go to truepeoplesearch.com, then call these people. If you do this at least 5 hours a week for a year straight, the amount of leads you're getting in is going to completely change that narrative of you not finding enough leads. The amount you drive for dollars is going to be completely correlated to how many leads you're going to get. So if you are struggling to get leads, put as much effort as you can to drive for dollars and pull the niche lists, especially the ones I talk about at freewholesaling.com, and you won't be struggling to get leads anymore. I promise you. Zach, when's the next Finding Cash Buyers List live show? Probably next week. Let me, well, you got me. Let me write this down. Let's go here. I'll write this down for you. Let's do next Thursday. No. Let's do next Wednesday. Next Thursday. Yeah, let's do next Thursday. Live cash buyers. I'm writing it in my Google Calendar right now. All right. So watch me live, cash buyers polling. That is now in my Google Calendar. Shout out to MJJ Smooth Criminal. Actually, let me write a note that he is the reason why I'm doing that on March 3rd. Perfect. MJJ Smooth Criminal. MJJ Smooth Criminal told me. All right, boom. So we got it. Alrighty. JC says, I got 2 premium lots in Orlando, area close to Lake Baldwin. I'm looking for buyers. Getting the words. Awesome. 2021 has been the greatest so far as well. Going to make this one better. Oh, yeah. And also spiritually, like I'm telling you right now, like mentally, everything, like the best ever. And that's because I really, you get some years where you really figure out what's important in life. And it's like, if I get my money right, and Gary Vee says this all the time, and I truly believe it in my heart too. It's like, if the people in your life right now that you care the most about, like immediate family, things like that, your best friends, your friends, if they're alive and they're healthy, it's like, what do you have to complain about? And that's the way I really look at things. Like right now, the people I truly love and cherish right in my life, they're all healthy. They're kicking. They're doing great. I got no complaints. Like from a perspective, like even when I was broke, people I loved were alive. I'm happy, right? And like if anyone, like God forbid, like loses somebody, it's like I would trade all the money in the world to be with him, right? So it's like you got to look at perspective. A lot of people look at like we're always like, hey, making money. That's great. That's what I teach, right? That's why I try to help people. But sometimes take a step back and be like, hey, if and a lot of people don't have this talking right now, and I feel like I've been in that position plenty of times. Like I'll tell you right now, it sucks, right? But like if you are lucky enough to go out here and say like everyone in my life that I love right now is alive and they're healthy, it's like don't be kicking yourself of like you're not making that like obviously change it, do better, but like don't be kicking yourself like your life sucks because of that. Because a lot of people who make a lot of money would trade everything to have be as healthy as you are, maybe I don't know, be able to be as fit as you are, right? Um, be as young as you, right? A lot of people do anything for that. So if you look at that perspective, there's billionaires out there that are 95 years old, right? That will literally trade every single dollar to be broke and 18, like a lot of people watching this. So if you look at that, it's hard to complain, really. Like it's the only complaint I ever have is these gurus, man. And that's like I said, they don't really affect me. But I know they put a lot of they're not good for a lot of people. But so yeah. Cheddar Bank says, what assets do you have? Nice try. Nice try, Mr. President, Mr. IRS. That was a good one, Cheddar back. I thought you were a real person at this, but IRS agent, that was cute. You're not getting me this time. You almost got me. I was just gonna, spit it all out, but hey, you were close. I got you though. I caught you. Nice try. I'm telling the IRS, they're getting more creative on here. All jokes. I love the IRS. They're the best. I love the IRS. They are great people. That was a close one. Nando says, can you explain what does it mean when a house is in a trust? Should you go about trying to buy a house owned by a trustee? I do. Again, I'm in Florida, which you could like the saying or not. This is a saying that I think's pretty much true and tried. But Florida is known by many as God's waiting room. And is that a bad analogy? I don't know. There's a lot of old people in Florida. That's all I can tell you. And unfortunately, a lot of old people have their properties in trusts, and it's kind of like a normal thing for me. Like, there's so many older people in Florida that like I buy houses from them. They're all trusts. Like, it's really not a big deal. All you gotta do is go to the trustee, and they're basically the seller at that point. Make sure everyone in the trust gets paid. It's just an extra step. It's really not even a complicated step. So I would not be worried about trust at all. Seriously, like don't sweat trust for wholesaling real estate. Let's see here. see here. Jeez, we got a lot of comments. Oh my goodness. Boom, boom, boom. All right, popping this up here. All right. Appreciate that one, Nando. And then the next question here. Trying to get through all these questions. You know, we really need that Zach versus some guru fight. I ain't gonna fight a guru, okay? I'm gonna put all the gurus out of business first. Okay, then we can talk about that. Okay. I ain't here to fight a guru, because if I fight a guru, they're just gonna be selling more coaching. Let me knock them out with my words. You know, I'm telling you, I challenge any guru to go debate me. It ain't pretty. Okay, it ain't pretty. Okay. I don't want to physically fight anybody. I don't think that ever gets anything solved. But I'll fight someone with ideas in my mind. I promise you. I ain't gonna get into it, but like any guru gonna go debate me. You're gonna get embarrassed. What's the best place to get mailers for cheap? Mailingmaster.com. So Universium. A lot of people talk about it. I have nothing bad to say about it. A lot of people think it's not the best, but it's always worth a shot, you know. Austin's been up since 4:40. Oh, snap. That's one thing I've always seen. Like someone says, oh, I've been up since 2 a.m. I've been since 1 a.m. Everyone's got really the same 16 hours in the day. So you got to look at it like that too. But yeah, it just depends. Like get up early. But I think most wholesalers, I don't think. Now, if you work out, then that's different. Like you get up at 4:40, you work out for an hour, maybe you're kicking at 6. That's fine. Really, the time for cold calling is like 8 to 7. Like the time for wholesaling is like 8 to 7. So like getting up before that is fine. Getting up, staying after is okay-ish. But like 8 to 7 is really like the time you can actually talk to a seller and cold call and like actually get conversations going. Anything outside of that's like your own leeway, right? So that's the way I look at it. Told you you've been taking notes, man. The amount of info he gives the guys more than enough to get you wholesaling journey on the way. I took his free course. Like I just spent $5,000 and that keeps me grinding. Awesome, man. Wyatt, appreciate you, man. So we're going to ask here. So PropStream versus batch leads. I always tell everybody, use both. I always give people free links for both because I just try them both for free and see which one you like. I've honestly came to the conclusion it's literally like a Lowe's hammer versus a Home Depot hammer. Both of these products are basically so similar that you can be successful with both. It's really up to what taste you like better. Now, PropStream, listrei.com is the link for that one. You get a free drawing for $1 app with that. And then you got batch leads, which you can get a lot of things for cheaper too. Batch leads also has some cool MLS data features. So like they're both really cool. PropStream has MLS data features too. Boy, I can tell you, try them both for free, right? You can try both free for 7 days. So listrei.com for PropStream, zachdata.com for batch. Try them both. That means you get 14 days of like free leads, which is pretty cool. Try them both. See which one you like. It's like literally buying a Home Depot hammer versus a Lowe's hammer. Go try them out. See which hammer you like. They're both hammers. They're both going to get the job. The problem with the hammer is like you still have to do the work with the hammer, right? Like the hammer ain't going to change everything. They're both really good that you really can't go wrong with both. That's the way I look at it. And in my heart of hearts, I could tell you, I think this one's so much better than the other one. You have to use this one. I go challenge anyone in the comments here or like any like person live. I have not seen a drastic difference in quality from both. Now, PropStream has like pre-probate lists. Batch leads has better skip tracing. So like it's you have to see which one you like better for yourself. At the end of the day, and you got to choose, right? So you got to see what you have priority for. If you like, drawing for $, and they got a free app with PropStream, that might be your priority. If you're really big into skip tracing and it's actually cheaper overall, these batch leads for a lot of people doing a lot of skip tracing, use batch. Use both and see which one you like better. I've used both of them. Like they're both great. I actually have trial. I actually have accounts for both. So it's like, which one do you like? Use them both. Seriously, I wish I could find one that's better. And these gurus, I'm drinking my tea, but also I can't drink coffee anymore for these lives because I can't sleep. So drinking tea. But tea with Zach, it's not a fancy, it doesn't rhyme, But yeah, these guru, if you have a guru that tells you PropStream's the only thing possible, batch leads is the worst, and then they say, or someone, I've seen this too, batch leads is the best and PropStream's the worst. It's like, come on. I've actually independently talked to the owners of basically, the owners of batch and like the high level people up on PropStream. And like, honestly, like I've talked, they're both amazing people, the owners of both both companies. And I personally told each one, hey, I'm going to pull it and I'm going to see which one I like better. I have bought both ones independently and used them for my market. Like I can't really see a difference between the both. The only thing I found out was like Batchley is better skip tracing, but then PropStream has other like pre-pro week features. So like I have both. Comping, it's like I'm in Florida, so like it doesn't really even matter. Italian Ranger says, not going to lie, cold calling on a single line dialer and skipping one by one gets super jaded, but got to put the work in to move up. Yeah, I mean, if it's free, it ain't going to be easy for wholesaling. So you got to remember that too. I remember dropping on a half pipe on a skateboard. Just got to do it. I've seen people drop on half pipes for the first time and break their arms. So sometimes it's scary. But if you do it right, most of the time it's not as scary. B Diamond says, who's it you email to get a free leads from the government? The county clerk of the court, but I'd recommend you call too. This is a good comment right here. MJG Smooth the Criminal says, I think cold calling is 80% new wholesalers' fear, and it stops most from getting their first deal. 100. I cannot say that better myself. Phil says, Zach, we need to get you a haircut. Oh, snap. Phil, respectfully, I don't know. I won't be getting a haircut today. I don't know. I don't think my hair is going to affect it though. I have people say I need to get a haircut. I say people I need to grow a beard. I see people that tell me I need to get a wholesaling tattoo. Like I get all these suggestions. Zach, what do you answer the question from a seller? What's your offer? It's better to say I'm gathering the info to take info to manager to make the best possible offer. So Ed, like when a seller asks me how much I'm going to offer them, and like I'm literally just prospecting, like, hey, are you interested? And they say yes, or if they don't even say yes, say, what's your offer? Hey, Mr. Seller, have you ever bought a car before? Like they're not letting you talk. Hey, Michelle, have you bought a car before? Yes. And Mr. Seller, do you test drive a car before you buy it? Of course. Well, Mr. Seller, I'm going to have to test drive the house before I give you an offer, right? Like I'm actually going to have to go and actually look at the house in person with my eyes before I can even give you an offer. Does that make sense? Yeah, Mr. Seller, I don't even know how many square feet the house is. I just know that's the location that works for me and my partner to buy. Say, oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, so is it okay if I ask you some more questions and maybe I can go by the property and give you the offer? Oh, I need someone serious to buy my house. Mr. Seller, if I'm serious about buying a house, I would actually want to go meet you at the house and look at it. The people that aren't serious are just going to give you a blank offer, right? And that's how you answer that. Like that's where I've seen the best answer to that question. Just do the test driving car thing. It'll be the best one. Oh my, Corey. Oh my Lord. What's up, Zach? Just wrapped up a reverse wholesaling deal, signed and assigned with a deposit in hand with 2 hours, $11,000 assignment. Oh my gosh. Corey is literally changing his life. I remember Corey got 0 deals telling me that, my kids always listen to you. And like they see you actually putting the knowledge in and learning. Oh my gosh. Corey's like, holy moly. Corey says, wholesaling is truly changing my life. Now I'm securing the bag of all the doubters are asking me how to wholesale. Bless you and Rick for what you've done for us. Corey, come on. Corey, do me a favor. How much money have I taken from you? How much money did I charge you to learn this information? $0. Zero. Teach us business for free. Corey, you are amazing, dude. I love seeing that. Come on. How do you wholesale property with high taxes? How do you wholesale property with low taxes? It's literally you put a property in a contract and you sell that contract for a profit. Maria, let me know what state you're in. Let's see here. Let's see. All right, getting asked here. Is this pre-recorded? I always get asked this question, and I always think it's funny. So I will be doing what I usually do, which I will go to time.gov and pop up the time on here. Because I always I always get asked pre-recorded because I don't blame anyone who says this because unfortunately, these gurus be out here doing pre-recorded lives. Or they say, "Oh, I'm live in the chat." Same thing. It ain't the same thing. So, right here, this is me. This is the official time right now. Of course, there's like a 4 or 5 second delay, probably. I don't know how big the delay is, but there's obviously always a delay with live streaming. But let's like 4 or 5 seconds. But this is the current time right now. So if anyone asks me, oh, Zach's really good at this pre-recorded stuff. He knew exactly when the question's gonna be. Like, come on, guys. I get all the haters telling me that too. Oh, Zach knew they're gonna ask a question at this certain time. Go attack me what you want. But literally, okay. I go time.gov to show you I'm not a guru. It's insane. Oh my gosh. All right, let's go some of the newer comments. I don't think I can hit all of them today, but I'm trying. I hit every comment on the YouTube after the video, on a recorded video. If you ask a YouTube comment from there, I'll always answer it too. Don't cut it. It's very cool. ADD flow. Okay. I like the hair. It's retro. Justin Bieber grown out like outlook cupcake. Okay. Zach isn't cutting his hair. What Zach needs is more deals. And also he needs to take out more gurus. I'm always taking out these gurus. Zach, would you ever do a list of like a cold call through a dialer through screen record? I'll work on it. Let's do it. It's live. Thank you. What up, guys? Beyond, appreciate you. Awesome, Mark. Appreciate that. Let's see here. Zach, what is your follow-up script? My follow-up script is basically just calling that list again, the same questions. That's really it. Now, if somebody is going out here and actually following up with a seller, you basically, hey, Mr. Seller, I'm just seeing what's going on. If you're still looking to sell a property, can I meet you, give you an offer on the property? I like to see a Zach versus Guru going head-to-head, like starting cold calling to skip tracing, closing, receiving paycheck live. That would be dope. Sure. I mean, I'm not here to go, like, I don't have an ego where, like, I don't go out here telling you guys I'm the greatest closer of all time. Like, I do not claim that at all. There's probably way better closers than me out here. But there's nobody as consistent as me, I don't think, on YouTube. But I could be wrong. There could be people doing 4 videos a day too. I don't know. But I just try to give as much value as I can, That's all I could do, Gotta get your ego out of this business. A lot of people do that in wholesaling. What's up? Gas is almost $5 where I'm at. Drive for dollars. Oh, buy a bike. Let's see here. Sid says, hi, I do car I do car detailing during the day, but want to get into sales part-time. What do you suggest I start doing? Apply for a sales job? If you want to get in sales, sure. I think wholesaling would be better though. Wu-Tang, how do I schedule a call with you? Just go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. Let me pop it up for you here. Let's see here. Let me pop it on here. Link. So literally all you gotta do is go here to Wholesaling Houses for Real. So I will go pop that up. Alrighty, share my screen. So just go to Wholesaling Houses for Real here on Facebook, and on the featured, where obviously every Thursday I'll pop up here. Come in and join, and just talk, and then we can talk. I won't get in these, but just go to Wholesaling House for Real on Facebook, and all you got to do is pop up here. We got 3 rules: no gurus, no selling, just value, and you can always hop on. We're getting like 5,000 to 6,000 people a month in that mastermind, which is pretty cool. Yeah. Bro, the meme is classic. This is great. Yeah, you got a guru that can. I'm going after gurus with my memes. I'm great. Thank you, Zach. You keep it real. It is a change of mindset for me. Your information's great and free, and I respect it. Awesome. Ooh, got someone saying, why are you mad about this mentorship? They do daily and night Zoom calls, and they do live seller calls. Oh my God. Is that worth $12,000 for 30 days? I don't think so. Considering I literally do the same. If you want to go hop on and do a live seller call, I'll do a live seller call with you. Give me a phone number. I'll call it with you if you want to hop on the one-on-ones. Not worth 12,000. Jesus. What is wrong with these gurus? I guess we got a guru. We got a guru bot in the chat today. Completely agree. The guru has a ton of valuable knowledge, but it's an absolutely absurd, completely obnoxious anyone to pay $30K. I think it's crazy. It's like these gurus like, oh, I'm charging $15,000 for this course, but with inflation, I got to charge 25, 30. It's like, what is wrong with these people? I just, oh my gosh. Fidel says you should make I'm not going to say that word because then my channel, hopefully the key, I don't want to get to linked with it. I can't say that keyword. Create a TFN, call that membership. I'm an artist. I can help you. Let's work. I'm probably not going to be doing that. You buy your own if you want. I got no ill will towards those. And there might be the future, right? I don't know. Like, obviously you got to see, right? I'm not like against it. I don't think it's not going to be good, right? I see a lot of people doing that with like courses and stuff. I'm probably not going to do something like that this year, but hey, I'm never going to say no, but I don't think I'm going to be charging people for stuff. I just not really big on that. It could be cool. You never know, but like, yeah. I was in a Zoom the other day and knew people were talking about starting a mentorship. Oh my gosh. My man is passionate. He got me like 2 years ago and he mentioned this person's name. Oh my gosh. It's terrible. That's that sales staff, they all got sales staff and they sell you, That's a good one. Martin says your bank account doesn't care how much time you got. 100%. Let's see here. That's a good one here from Austin. How beneficial is PropStream for cold calling in comparison to government lists? If you're going to cold call 5 hours a day, PropStream is going to be way better. But the one issue I have seen is like most of them are going to be no's. But there's a government list, you're going to have a higher level of yeses, but it's going to be less. So let's see here. All right, let's go to the bottom here for some comments. Hey Zach, can you talk to you one-on-one? I've been studying like crazy. I'm watching every Thursday, Shane. Go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. You're already on Facebook. Just go to Wholesaling Houses for Real. There's a link on there. You can talk to me one-on-one. Hey Zach, are inbound lead generation sites a must for beginning of wholesaling? Not really, especially for websites. I don't think so. Miguel, is it Trader Migs Miguel or different Miguel? Has person. I can't mention people that sell courses. Does person ever reach out to you since your debate? I'll not comment on that. I'm not going to talk about that. But what I'll tell you is, I don't know how much I can say on here, but let's just say we're not. It's not eye to eye on the future of things. All right. Thanks for the comment. I appreciate it. It's a good one. Can you explain the process when the buyer needs to view the property in virtual wholesaling? So the issue with virtual wholesaling, it's like, hey, you're not at that state or you're actually not in that local market. So it's like, how do you show a buyer the property? You have to have a runner or like a quote unquote boots on the ground. Either you find somebody, you go take pictures of the property with like their iPhone, and then you can actually send that out to your cash buyers list. Or you can have that person also walk a cash buyer through the property. Just make sure that person is not a other wholesaler who might try to steal your deal. Go to like the Facebook jobs place and say, hey, I need somebody to walk someone through, and you train them, you should be fine. Or have a licensed realtor do it, and it should be fine. I had a guru tell me mentorship was $12,000. I literally laughed and said, why charge so much when I get the same info for free as Zach Ginn? He hung up the phone. Facebook user, if you can please tell me who that was, I would love to know. Or if you can DM me or tell me who that name rhymes with, I'd love to know. Who did you tell that? That is savage. Oh my, that is savage. $12K. Why do gurus do that? Like, oh, we're going to keep the price a secret. Going to keep the price a secret. Like this person's not going to go and tell everybody how much it is. And Facebook user, I guess your name's anonymous here on YouTube, so that's cool for the stream. Let me know who it is. I'm actually kind of curious. Or you just DM me privately. But I love seeing people to go tell gurus what's up. So shout out to you. You are a savage. The cool part is you're basically on the DL from the guru, so the guru doesn't know you said it, which is fine for you. But oh my Lord. Oh my Lord. All right, he's going to DM me. So I'm not going to mention it. Let's see if I get a DM. Let me see if he's going to DM me. I'll go check it. But we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my gosh. These gurus are crazy. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, guys, I'm telling you right now, like for cold calling, it's going to be changing your life right now. And if you really implement that marketing strategy in your business, you're going to see a lot of changes and you're going to do really well. What I can tell you is taking the actual steps right now to actually create the marketing business of your dreams, to create the business and getting the leads that you need to actually start, wholesaling the right way is you have to start implementing a time schedule and a time budget. So, ending this live today, just thinking like, my parting thoughts is just create a time schedule, a time budget, and actually get going in your business today. It's like, hey, this is my goal. Make sure my grind is equal to that goal. So if I want to make $100,000 in 1 month, just know you're going to have to pull a ton of leads and you got to get off your butt and start driving for dollars and start, getting after it, right? That's what I'd be doing. And that's how you start changing your life today. So at the end of the day, guys, take action, get confidence, and just know this is the time right now to start changing your life. And if you're not where you're at with life, if you are not where you're at right now in life, it's directly correlated to how you think. And it's the way your thoughts are per day. Because what you think about is truly what you manifest. So if you're manifesting your mind that, oh, I'm just going to do, the bare minimum, that's what you're going to manifest in your life. If you keep thinking, if you keep having the goals in your mind that, hey, I'm going to get this goal, make 100,000 this year in wholesaling, this is what you think. You are where you at. You are at where you are in life right now because of how you think and the actions you take. Start changing that if you want to change your life. I appreciate everyone watching this. Make sure you smash the like button and subscribe. I'll see you guys soon, and